regarding the hurricane that's coming to the Philippines, unfortunately, your narrator, like the thing is so synced up that like when I come back here and it has an effect where your narrator, like, is in some mode where I just it's not help. It's some kind of the price. I don't know. We pay for doing it like this. It's things are happening like so fast in your unified field that like I can just say something, but we have no idea what's on the other end of this, what the effect is. We're always worried about. I'm always worried about getting a game played on me, which I head that off. But then there's this other concern, which is we do not know what you're doing with this footage, or who's seeing it, or what the hell's going on. We really don't know over here. So I know it's right. Like, I want to say. You say that when you're in that mode that our thing puts us in, yeah, you say things. It comes off as very authoritative. What's actually happening is we don't know how we're all doing this. I don't. Can't really picture it. It's cool, but here's the thing. It said things, about about the news about the hurricane. And I said it's if you sort of knocked when it was on, and I said, look, if you're knocking to say like what I don't know, something about the hurricane, the thing is like, yeah, I mean, I'm not, let me put it this way. I lived in a place with a hurricane, so I just said we don't. Actually, what's the word I'm looking for? We don't know who sees this and in what way and what the words I'm using, and no one doesn't have a disclaimer that it's happening so fast. Your friend just like says something, but what more about what your narrator thinks about the news, and the news about something like this, which is very, very, very well. Look, here's the thing. It's a very big planet. And there's all kinds of things going on all the time, and there's all kinds of things happening here. And I've known people who are experiencing. They're hooked in to the news that we're getting in a way that causes them not to live in reality. But if you were to when you're they're missing the big picture about what the problem is. It's that when something is there's no way to, like I've often said, there should be should be just a national news, like just what's happening nationally, or just what's happening. I mean, the news channels they have in other countries, I mean, the ones I've been exposed to, I mean, you really realize, like, it's like right off the bat, you realize, like, the layers of differences between what's, the way the news is presented, what's on the news, the length of time allowed for someone to, say something, whatever. Our news is done in such a way, but it's done in such a way where, let's say, the hurricane about to hit the Philippines, it's that the way in which that is, was the way in which the sort of there's no, that's part, it's part of you, part of say, like, it's one of those things we should someday talk about when even your narrator has like thought it out more. Like, it's our media system, and what it's doing to people is not like a little thing, and to just say like, something authoritatively like no, like I have nothing to say about the hurricane, like that's part of the problem. Is what don't people, and what about people here who have relatives in the Philippines or something? Isn't that the most important news? That would be like what someone could say. Like, I don't have any relatives there. I had a friend who was from the Philippines. Wonder if he has any. But it's also there's something missing. There's something missing about the there's a bunch of things about what it does to your perception of the independently existing external world, that to just say like, no, it's wrong, it's not, this is the wrong news, does, to learn more about the hurricane and see, it's very emotionally potent, like, and it's scary, and the human toll of such a thing, and it's impossible to say to someone that if that wasn't on the news, if it was just on if the Weather Channel only did actually do like a big story on like a major weather event, and that was where, if you wanted to know, people in your home country or something, like, oh, it would look in, they'll do very serious coverage of all the weather events. We're on the Weather Channel, but the Weather Channel's not really like that, but that would be there. And then there'd be a national news channel that talked about like the economy of our country, and like slowly discussed, the real national scene, things like that. Not with the way this is, that you have, this news about, the economy as a whole fits in with news about the hurricane hitting the Philippines and news about this, but they're all very emotionally charged, whatever it is. Okay, that's the sort of that you actually could, depending on where you're seeing this or who you are, whether or not you have relatives in the Philippines, if you didn't know there was a hurricane hitting the Philippines, like, it actually wouldn't change anything. And there's also nothing you can do about it. But that the very fact it's something that has a lot of it's very emotional to watch such a thing. There's fear, then there's, the damage such a thing can cause, but that's it's the wrong news for the society we live in. It's the wrong news, and it doesn't. People all around the world would love Americans to live in reality and have a media system that brought them information about their country, themselves, and the world. People would love that, and wouldn't mind if people in America didn't know anything about the hurricane about to hit the Philippines. People wouldn't mind. They would say, no, that's okay. That Americans don't have to know about this terrible thing that's about it's happening in the Philippines. They can live without that. They need to know a bunch of other things. Even someone who's that no one is saying in that part of the world, like, I hope Americans are very, because I know America's worried too. They're not saying that. No, gee, like, or a person like I have a friend who's from the Philippines. He's if it wasn't on the news, he wouldn't say like, you're such an, society's so insulated, they don't even know about the hurricane, hitting where my grandparents live. This is madness. No. It's the exact type of thing that if you didn't know about it, no one would mind if Americans didn't know a hurricane was about to hit the Philippines. No one around the world would mind that. It's fine. It's just America. They can only get it on their Weather Channel. No. So that's a topic for another time. But since I don't know who sees this, I don't know what you're doing with it, what effect it has, what you've made with the videos of people like me. The fact that I just blurt something out because everything's happening so fast, geez, I should try to stop doing that, but every day we sort of have a different thing happening. But let's put that to rest.